Okay, TA.
This the Carousel, the host Al Flemings. Came to lock the game like my name Val Demings. Fantasy and flavors,
Yeah.
new edition. The intro to the show is brought by True Ambition. Round and round we go, shouts out to Eric Wilson. Knowledge for your wins, all you gotta do is listen. Hungry for info, food for thought, got all your fixing. You know, FOO, value facts over opinion. 4-3-3-4, my defense beats our system. Injury report,
Flex.
winning while I'm grinning. Dominate the point of attack from the line of scrimmage. For long as you can't beat my squad, go gather all your minions. Carousel,
This
carousel,
is
carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off.
what?
Knock 'em out.
Week 11 in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Carousel. I'm Alex Fleming, giving you this ride across the country and NFL fans expressing their needs, wants, and concerns in this pivotal week in the NFL. Now, you and I both know what's happening tonight. Seattle is facing Arizona. Part 2. Arizona coming off of that roller coaster win against Buffalo with Nook catching it in the end zone. And then Seattle taking an L versus a division rival in the Los Angeles Rams. So, with that being said, we're going to have an Arizona representative in soon, and then we might even have a Seattle representative. We got a full lineup for you. I got New York in the house. I got Philly in the house. Philly's facing Cleveland. I'm going to see if I can get Houston versus New England in the house. You know I got smoke with Kansas City versus the Las Vegas Raiders. I almost said Oakland. We're going to catch up with the ROTC rookie, my apologies, Justin Herbert. After he cut the hair, we'll be talking to JB Ellis, letting all y'all know that it's a football world and we just live in it. But right now, Dalvin Cook is cooking. So Colin Ireland will be facing Stacey Ashton later tonight. And to sum it all up, the 13-year-old phenom, Danny Paquergo, will be going up against Jacksonville Jaguars' own Ada Cruz. Now, let's start in the NFC East. If I could have David Soul, let's talk about that big victory this last Sunday.
Yeah, thanks a
Long
lot.
time no see, sir.
Yeah, man, I've been busy, but Giants are back in it. I'm excited. I think we're gonna win a division, man. Yeah, that was a big win against the Eagles. We haven't beaten them since 2016, so that was huge for our confidence. I really think we're gonna win the division. We're 3-7, but I think we're the team to beat in the NFC East at this point.
All right, so you guys are 3-7 and you're on a bye. So let's be honest with each other. I don't particularly like your defense, but your offense is humming right now. Andrew Thomas is acclimated with the playbook, or is it that Daniel Jones is starting to read through his progressions? What are you seeing?
Honestly, I think it all starts with the offensive line. Andrew Thomas has played much better, actually, since the Tampa Bay game when we only lost by 2 points to one of the best teams in the NFC. And part of the reason for the progression of Andrew Thomas and the offensive line as a whole is our head coach, Joe Judge, has been very hands-on. And it's kind of a Belichickian move where he pointed out the position group that was struggling the most on the team, and he got heavily involved. And actually, yesterday, our offensive line coach was just fired because of a little bit of a conflict. But I'm going to spin it in a positive direction. I feel like that kind of tension in a locker room could be good for a young football team. I think Joe Judge, when he sees a problem, he doesn't like the way his coaches are teaching the fundamentals. He's going to step in and he's going to do something about it. So the offensive line has been much better. Daniel Jones, they're making him run the ball in those read options. And that's making a huge difference. Is if we could run the ball, keep our defense off the field, that makes the whole team progress so much better.
All right, so there's no Saquon Barkley, but there damn sure is this Daniel Jones. How comfortable are you with your quarterback leading the team in rushing?
Honestly, I don't like my quarterback running the ball too much because I'm scared every time he takes a big hit. If Daniel Jones gets hurt, we have no shot for our offense. But he is after Lamar Jackson and after Kyler Murray. There is not a faster quarterback in the NFL than Daniel Jones, and I feel like you have to use that. If you think about the quarterbacks coming out of college these days, there aren't any more Tom Brady's or Peyton Manning's that are statues in the pocket. Everyone can move around a little bit, and on those read option plays, there isn't that many quarterbacks. Like I said, I think only Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray have faster times than Daniel Jones with the ball in his hands. They do those like next gen stats where they can record how fast the guy's running on the field. And on that play where Daniel Jones tripped and fell against the Eagles, he was actually running like 22 miles per hour. So he's fast. I think you have to use that as a weapon, and it's opening up things for Wayne Gallman, Alfred Morris, our running backs. So I feel like that's a big weapon for us. That's gonna come in handy down the stretch because our offensive line is gelling. Andrew Thomas is playing much better. We have this guy Shane Lemieux, who we drafted in the 5th round. He's a very good run blocker. Nick Gates is coming into his own at center. We have Zeitler, we have Fleming. Our offensive line is the key to this football team, and we're playing much better.
All right. Now, I know you're secondary because I happen to have interviewed and met Christian Angulo and the godson and Darnell Holmes, both rookies. Going with Bradbury, how far can this secondary go, considering that you guys are 3-7, but you got the inside track to win the NFC East? How much faith do you have in them?
I have a lot of faith in our secondary. I honestly think it's one of the strengths of our football team. And I'm very impressed with Patrick Graham, our defensive coordinator, because we have a major weakness at the second cornerback spot. But he's been switching up his coverages. He's switching between man and zone. He definitely confused Carson Wentz on Sunday, who did not have a good game. Bradbury, I think, is playing like an all-pro, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. He is playing like one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. He leads the NFL in pass breakups. He has 3 interceptions. He shut down Travis Fulgham last week on Sunday. Another exciting thing about our secondary is we're getting Xavier McKinney back after the bye, who was a high 2nd-round pick. He really should have been a 1st-round pick. He's been hurt. But Jabril Peppers is playing much better. He's staying healthy. So I like a lot of the guys in our secondary. I like Logan Ryan as kind of like a Swiss Army knife. He plays a little bit of safety. He plays cornerback. He can play a little bit in the slot. And Darnay Holmes is a very tough football player. I love the way he plays. He's not afraid to, make the big hit. For a smaller, nickel cornerback, he's perfect for the New York Giants. So I'm excited about our secondary. I think, we definitely have to improve at that other spot outside James Bradbury, but the guys are. I think that win against Philadelphia is going to give us so much confidence going forward down the stretch.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. David from Giants Alliance, let the people know what you've been up to. Bless you and the baby, by the way. He's a growing boy. He's growing big. Let the people know where they can find you and your work.
Yeah, man. Thanks. I'm on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Giants Alliance, so definitely follow me there. I have a website, nygiantsalliance.com. It's been very busy for me lately with the baby and work and everything that's going on, but I'm going to start, posting more articles. So go to nygiantsalliance.com, follow me on Twitter. And thanks so much for having me on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, David. Anytime. For real. And good luck to your Giants. Now, from a team that's actually excelling to one that's decelling, the Giants are in the position they're in because they beat the Philadelphia Eagles, who have a pretty tough matchup this week against the Cleveland Browns. Only if I had a Philadelphia Eagle representative, maybe we can have a conversation. Is Eric Wilson in the house? Is Sarah Turner in the house? Sorry, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. What's up, Alex? How are you?
Hi, I see you're in some gear. Are you okay?
It's just what our year has been. Hey, doesn't matter win or lose. I bleed green all day, every day.
I'm not quite sure if Mr. Wolf is in the house, but if he is, could you please add him? Chad, how you doing, sir?
Not too bad, not too bad. Thank you.
Chad, I hated to interrupt your regularly scheduled program, but I found an Eagles representative over here by the name of Eric Wilson, and I believe you two have something to talk about. You guys know what the deal is. Eagles are playing the Browns. I believe this is in Philly.
No, it's in Cleveland.
Oh, so Eric, you get to go first. You know what? You guys know the deal. You can see me out of there.
All right, so Chad, listen, man. Normally I would sit here and I would bust apple bags with you about the Philadelphia Eagles and just beating up on the fact that, I just don't trust your quarterback. Baker Mayfield, as I know the running joke is, the guy's got more progressive commercials than he's got wins. I'd rather look at his girlfriend than look at him on the field, fiance, wife, whatever she may be. But I mean, honestly, after what went down last week against the Giants, I have to be real with you. This is a must win for us. We have no other choice because the Giants, the Washington football team, and the team that I hate more than anything else in this world still have a shot to win this garbage division. Here's what I'll say about my team. At least I got Miles Sanders back. Utilizing him is going to be key. We have got to run up and down all over your defense. Now, you have Myles Garrett, one of the best, I think, second, in my opinion, only to Aaron Donald. Listen, you've got Nick Chubb. He can run the ball. You've got Kareem Hunt, great running back. You've got Jarvis Landry, got Austin Hooper, who we haven't really seen much that year. So I'm nervous for there to be some type of tight end explosion because, my tight ends are just, I love me some Gardner. I love me Richard Rodgers. But the fact of the matter is neither one of them have stepped up. And the fact that Ertz still doesn't have a contract. Yeah, by the way, Howie Roseman, sign him. It still remains to be seen. But I mean, anything is possible. The biggest stretch for me is the fact that, again, I don't trust your quarterback. I don't think Baker has what it takes to be a quarterback in the NFL, especially being in the AFC North. You can talk all you want, but the proof is in the pudding. This guy just doesn't seem to have it in him. And in my personal opinion, I think that's the reason we're going to be successful against you guys on Sunday.
He's taking personal shots. He's not talking about your squad. He's talking about your quarterback. Hey, Chad, you know your team. Break it down.
All right, yeah, you had a good point. It's a must win, but it's for both of us, honestly, and it outweighs us more because at the end of the day, like you said, your division stinks. Our division, probably the best in football. I mean, even the Bengals, they beat the Titans. We beat them twice already, and they're a tough up and coming team. And then you got the Steelers undefeated, and then you got the Ravens. So I mean, every game is a must win for us. We're always the underdog no matter who we play. And you say, Baker this, Baker that. Like, Baker don't have to be no Aaron Rodgers. Baker don't have to be no Tom Brady. All Baker has to do is be a game manager, stick, with the scheme of the run game and dump off to the tight ends. And once in a while, your slot guys and also the deep ball if it's ever there. But, Baker doesn't have to be perfect. Baker doesn't have to lead the league. 2 out of the 3 seasons he's been in the league, he's put up pretty decent and good numbers, especially almost rookie of the year. His rookie year, he put up over 3,000 yards, over 24 touchdowns. And, he just set records for especially the Browns franchise. But like you said, we got great tight ends, 3 good tight ends, and we got a great offensive line, and we got 2 great running backs to where it's whatever we want to do. If we don't want to run, we could just dump out the backfield, let Kareem Hunt do his thing. And not only that, Chubb can do that too. And Chubb is even better in space. So with our run game and with our offensive line, and like you said, Myles Garrett and our defense, and we're getting healthier, we're going to be a tough, team to beat, and we're at home. And like I said, our division is the best in football. Every game is a must win no matter what.
Okay, two things before I let Eric say what he wants to say. Debatable about the toughest division in football because the NFC West might have something to say about that, but it's definitely the AFC North and NFC West. Number two, Cleveland ran the dog doo-doo out of the ball against the Houston Texans on Sunday. I would have brought up the fact that Philadelphia has problems stopping the run, but that's just me. Eric, 45 seconds. Do your thing.
So, yes, thank you, Alex, for taking my thunder, because that's what I was exactly going to say. The AFC North is a viable strength powerhouse division, but the NFC West still is my division to say is the strongest. But let's focus on the fact that it's Cleveland that we're facing against this week. You know what? Every point that you made, Chad, has a leg to stand on. And you're absolutely right. Baker doesn't need to be a Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, any of those guys. But here's the problem. He can't even be a Gardner Minshew right now. He can't even be a rookie. I would take Kyler Murray, Joe Burrows, or Justin Herbert over Baker Mayfield. You know what Baker Mayfield is to me? Johnny Manziel 2.0.
What? Shots fired. Shots fired. Chad, retaliate.
I mean, I've heard it a million times of him being compared to Manziel, but the fact of the matter is, he's on the field and Manziel never stayed on the field. And Baker's always put up numbers. You look up his stats this year, his touchdowns outweigh his interceptions. Like I said, they're not super high, but he's not turning the ball over. Even when we do have to pass, he's following our coach's scheme, which is Stefanski. You've seen what he did in Minnesota with Dalvin Cook. Why you got to pass the ball when you have two of the best running backs in the game to just run all over defenses? And like you guys said, you guys have trouble stopping the run, but I know you have good defensive linemen. So, in a up north weather environment, that's going to be tough.
I do know this. The loser of this game is in big trouble. Philadelphia will be 3-6-1 and trailing not one, but two teams in the NFC East. Cleveland will be gripping a hold to the last playoff spots if they lose this game. So the loser of this is on suicide watch. Mr. Wolf, please let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me at Daytona Beach in Daytona, Florida.
Right on. Thank you for your time, Mr. Wolf. E, one love. Let's get back on this carousel.
Carousel, yeah. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, this the carousel. On or you're off, if you're on or you're off, if you're on or you're off, what? Knock 'em out. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, this the carousel. On or you're off, if you're on or you're off, if you're on or you're off, what? Knock 'em out.
I've never been a fan of Matt Patricia. Ever since he took the position away from Jim Caldwell, he's had a losing record. But lo and behold, the Detroit Lions are 4-5, and on the outside looking in, on the 7th spot in the NFC. Long overdue that we needed a Detroit representative. And now that we have a Detroit representative, can you please welcome in Dom?
What's up, Alex?
Hello, sir. Long overdue that you had your own time slot. Let the people know who you are and what you do.
I'm Dom. I'm, as I always say, the few, the proud, the Lions fans. A lot of my friends call me the eternal pessimist because I've been following this team for 30 years, and it's always the same sort of 2 to 3 year cycle. Let's not forget, we made Barry retire. We made Calvin retire. From what I can tell, this is Matt Stafford's last year with our team. If he even makes it out alive, I'm not sure that he will. He's got that, he's got the thumb injury. It's not going to stop him from playing because he's tougher than a $2 steak, but we'll see what happens.
All right. Real talk. You guys escaped the Washington football team last week. You guys got a pretty tough matchup in the Carolina Kitty Cats this week. 1, game plan. How you going to beat them? 2, who's the hot boy you're watching on the Detroit Lions offense?
How are we going to beat them? Well, normally, I mean, it's kind of our run defense has been up and down. It looks like almost, I'm pretty sure CMC has been ruled out, so we don't need to worry about stopping him. I'm not super concerned about the rest of their running attack. Teddy Bridgewater, like, he's looked good at times, but really he's a glorified game manager, which is not to say I was calling for Teddy Bridgewater in Detroit a couple of years ago just because he's a lot less expensive than Matt Stafford. He's equally as durable. The guy I'm looking for, the one that we need to feed, and we started doing it last week with great success, DeAndre Swift got his first start, and he looked good. He looked great. He had around, 150, 160 total yards, a couple touchdowns. I knew that Adrian Peterson was just a placeholder and more of a mentor, and that they just got to give him the keys. Whether or not the offensive line can consistently open holes for him remains to be seen. But if that O-line can gel and stay healthy, I may deny having said this in the future, but that could be a real strength for this team long term going forward. No one on that offensive line is any. I think Taylor Decker is the oldest one, and he's like 27 or 28. We've got, young-ish guys everywhere else. Ragnow is in his, mid-20s. That rookie from Ohio State, I can't remember his first name, Jackson. He's been great, and I think he's helping Decker out a lot. Like, Taylor Decker hasn't allowed a sack. I credit 50% of that to Jonah Jackson, but it helps when you can, when the ball gets snapped and you can just focus on your blocker rather than looking to your right, like, oh man, is this guy getting beat? Let me go help him.
All right. One last thing before I let you go. Detroit doesn't get a lot of love. They don't get a lot of respect. You guys are 4-5, and you can get 500. Now, the road gets tougher, and I believe you have a divisional opponent next week for the Thanksgiving game, right?
Chicago. I can't remember who we play next. I know we've got
Chicago plays Green Bay. I thought you guys had like Minnesota.
Houston.
Oh, that's right. You got Houston.
We've
all
got
right.
some
All right.
games
So
coming still.
You have some winnable games. You guys can easily make this 6-5 if you beat up on the Carolina Kitty Cats. Does this save Patricia's job?
I mean, winning these couple games at this point, I sincerely doubt they're going to fire him at any point prior to the end of the season. And depending on what happens with the rest of it, allegedly the edict in the off season was, put playoffs or playoff contender or you're fired. It remains to be seen. As much as I'd like to be hopeful, realism trumps hope for me. And I don't think this team is a playoff contender. And even if we get to the playoffs, who are we going to beat in the first round? I can't think of a single team that we could legitimately beat. The only thing possibly working in our favor, and I brought this up last week, obviously if we make the playoffs, we're not getting a home game, but we're better on the road than we are at home. I mean, if we finished with that last, we'd get the first two teams.
7. You'd be the 7th seed.
Yeah, who's sitting at 3 right now? That'd be the third. Well, I guess we'd probably get either someone from the West. I mean, it's not going to be the East. We could.
It's not going to be East. They're locked into that 4 spot. You get somebody from the West or somebody from the South.
I mean, we did beat Arizona on the road earlier this year. That's looking like our flagship win right now. How we did that, I'm not entirely sure. Actually, I remember we got the ball back with like 6 minutes left, and I'm sitting here with a couple of my buddies, and I'm like, how about we just never give this ball back and go down and kick that game-winning field goal? And that's how we won that game. We did something that I didn't think we were capable of doing, and then we did it, and I'm like, oh, but I don't know. I don't trust Matt Patricia. I don't trust his underlings. it's just it's not looking good. But I mean, I still tune in every week because I love this team, and the games are more often than not they're close, and it's been like that for my whole life. Good teams.
All right, Dom. Do me a favor. Take 20 seconds. Let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on my Facebook page, Dom DeRubis. I'm in a number of Detroit Lions Facebook groups. I'm also in Exclusive Sports Gauntlet. And yeah, I'm just out here every Sunday about 12:30. I start drinking because Lord knows you can't watch this team sober because it's bad for your health. So, yeah.
Thank you, Dom, and good luck on Sunday.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I smell smoke. Now, the last time Houston faced New England, Houston won. But before that, Deshaun Watson had issues with New England with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, but it's a new day. Tom's in Florida, and Belichick's been struggling. Let's bring in the participants. The H-Town Wheelhouse, Brett Chauncey.
How you doing, Alex? Great to join you again.
How you doing, sir? How you living? How you good?
Man, I am good. I am ready for this Thanksgiving break. The teachers this year, we are taking it on the chin, to use a football term, and it is going to be nice to get some R&R and time with the family.
Speaking of R&R, I got an armchair guy that's very knowledgeable and likes talking about the Masters. You can catch him with the Armchair Guys on Facebook. Can we bring in Sean?
How we doing?
One love, sir. How you living?
Hey, I'm doing well, thank you.
All right. Now, you know how this goes. You each will have 2 minutes, no low blows, but these two teams don't like each other. Sean, I believe you're on the road, right? This game's in Houston?
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
Correct,
So, Sean, you're going to go first. Hey,
All
let
right.
the games begin.
All right, well, I mean, it's been a difficult year for the Patriots. I mean, it's been a lot of ups and downs. 2-game winning streak. I mean, the Jets game was ugly. But, I mean, big confidence builder last Sunday against the Ravens. And I think you're going to see a similar type of game. Same kind of scheme as they did against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens with Deshaun Watson. I mean, Bill Belichick, he knows how to scheme for their best players. And, I mean, Will Fuller's a deep threat. They also have, I know Brandon Cooks is another deep threat. But look what they did against Baltimore last weekend. Their longest play from scrimmage was 31 yards. So, I mean, you limit those home run attempts and you stop them from making the big plays. And I think with the way that the Houston Texans run defense is playing, I mean, Damian Harris is coming on strong. 22 carries for 121 yards against Baltimore on Sunday. I mean, I think you're going to see a heavy dose of Damian Harris, a heavy dose of Rex Burkhead. And, I mean, against a defense that allows 167 yards rushing a game, I don't see how they can get out in front or maybe even control the time of clock. I mean, the Patriots are gonna get out in front and run that ball, and probably I would say own the time of possession by, I would say, double by the end of the game.
Hey, he wrapped it up. He made it quick. Hey, Brett, Houston, 2-game wins. Both against Jacksonville, but I'm not counting that. You got New England, and they're definitely vulnerable. What you got to say?
Well, the last time I saw a Texans and Patriots game, I was there. It was at NRG Stadium, and we had the lead at half. And I told my friend that I was with, Tom Brady was at the helm, and I said, he's going to cut us up in the second half. And he cut us up in the second half. Well, I'm wearing this salute to service jersey with Texans, and it's got the camouflage on it to support our troops. And the color is black because it's going to be the death of the Cam Newton comeback, and we're going to start killing their playoff hopes this week. Because even though we have the 32nd ranked defense and run defense, you can't get any worse. So why not motivate yourself by beating the Patriots? I think the Texans depend on their receiving core a lot. I don't know that Duke Johnson's going to factor much, but I think you look at Fells, I think you look at Cooks, I think he's going to cook up some really nice plays. Will Fuller going to be a deep threat. Watch out, we got Procise in there. He's going to get some decent returns. But the key for the Texans is they have to execute. They have to execute on defense. They cannot let Harris get on the edge. They cannot let him get around the corner. because he will blow past those guys. It is up to the young guys, Cunningham and them, to join in with Watts. And it will be interesting to see the scheme they have against Watson, because Belichick is a great game planner. And so while in Texas, I think the Texans can win this week, a kind of a trap game for the Patriots. We respect what the Patriots bring because of Bill Belichick, because Cam Newton is such a veteran. And so let's shut down Harris. Let's limit Newton. And let's sack them. Let's get a couple interceptions and maybe some special teams plays, and maybe we edge out a victory this week.
Hey, H-Town Wheelhouse letting you know, and he dropping names. Armchair, I know you're not going to go out like that. So give me a reason why New England's going to prevail over this 2-7 Houston squad. And go.
Just the way Bill Belichick schemes, and our secondary is very, very strong against the pass. I mean, J.C. Jackson has an interception in each of the last 5 games. Stephon Gilmore back in practice, limited, but is supposed to play on Sunday. That helps bring a boost to the defense. And I mean, they have one chance to get back into this playoff hunt. They have to keep winning, rattling off, especially against teams that they should beat, which I have respect for Houston. I know they beat them last year, but this is a team that they should beat. They have to beat. And I don't think Bill Belichick, after what they just came out of in Baltimore, I think he's going to have them ready to go.
He's trying to say Deshaun Watson is not El Freaky, especially without a security blanket. Brett, let the people know how H-Town's going to rally and beat the New England Patriots.
All right. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to make those fantasy owners regret picking up Harris this week because they didn't have him before. And they're going to hold him to only 80 yards this week. And Deshaun Watson is going to hit 2 touchdowns through the air. He's going to run 2 touchdowns. He's going to score 4 touchdowns. He's going to look like the Deshaun Watson. And because we are getting further and further removed from, Bill O'Brien, Mr. Zero, and we got with the hero, Mr. Cornell, and I have confidence in him, and I think we go out there, and I think we win this because New England's 1-3 on the road. I think we take advantage of that. I know it's not like a huge home field advantage with the less fans, but this is NRG Stadium. We have Deshaun Watson, and we trust in him.
All right, real talk. Check out the Armchair, guys. Sean, take 20 seconds. Let the people know where they can find you.
All right, yeah. Sean Farhadian, part of the Armchair Sports Guys. We do a live show on Facebook every Wednesday night at 7, every Saturday morning at 11. Check us out, Armchair Sports Guys on Facebook, the Armchair Sports Guys on Twitter, and at armchair_guys on Instagram.
Real talk. H-Town Wheelhouse, Locked On Astros. Let them know what you about.
Yeah, you can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros. I'm the co-host of Locked On Astros, the #1 Astros podcast daily, and we have got a big show. Tonight we're recording with a guy who has done an expose, a podcast over the life, basically the rise and the fall of Ken Kemenete. So check that out. We got some big guests coming up the next week. We would love for y'all to join us. And check us out on Facebook at Stros411.
Real talk, real talk. Thank you. I'll be looking forward to the matchup. But since we're talking about matchup, let's talk about tonight. I want to see an Arizona Cardinal representative if we have one. I miss Jackie.
Hi, how are you, Alex?
I'm good. I miss you. How are you? You riding high off of that victory Sunday.
Yes, I was. That was amazing. I was nervous because I remember the last time you and I spoke, right, when the Cardinals beat the Seahawks the first time, and we had our bye. And then I told you I was afraid that we were going to start that downward slope.
You predicted it.
I did get a little nervous, with the Dolphins, but we brought it back, and everyone in Arizona is riding high from that, and we're going to keep going tonight.
Okay, look, my dog Mookie Hawkins, he was mad. He was a little bit mad, but you guys got Nuck for a reason. You could thank Bill O'Brien for that. I love the segue. Can you tell me your emotions that you had once you saw DeAndre Hopkins come down with the ball being triple covered.
You know when you put your hands over your eyes and you say, I can't watch, I can't watch, I can't watch, but then you peek a little bit? That's exactly what I did. And I think that everyone in the entire state just let out a collective sigh of relief. It was amazing. Exactly. That is exactly why we got DeAndre Hopkins. And that is exactly why everybody in the state of Arizona thanks Bill O'Brien for being a schmuck.
Thank you, Bob. Oh my goodness. All right,
sorry,
now, no smoke. No smoke, but I do have a Seahawk representative in. Brandon, let the people know who you are and what you do.
What's up, y'all? If this camera wants to stay still, I am a sports broadcast journalist major, Seahawks fan, blogger. Y'all catch me at Instagram, the Hotcast. We got 5,600 followers. We're getting bigger every day, and yeah, I'm a Seahawks fan, as you could see.
All right, now I have much respect for the NFC West because I believe you guys are the toughest division in football. You guys have had a representative in the Super Bowl 3 of the last 5 years. You guys go to Super Bowls or win Super Bowls. Now, you both know how big this game is tonight. I'm going to start with you, Brandon. What does the game tonight mean to you?
It means everything. It feels like a playoff game tonight. I think it's huge because Seattle's lost 3 out of their last 4 games, and I mean, we went from the highest of highs, sitting at 5-0, to dropping 2 division games and a game against Buffalo Bills where we led the most points in the Pete Carroll era. I mean, it feels unreal. And I mean, in general, this game, beating the Cardinals in general, whether they were 0-9 or whatever the record is, it's still a division game, so it still feels big. But saying that we're all 6-3 now, we're all looking for a playoff spot. I mean, having this win here, if Cardinals sweep us, then I don't even know if we can win the division. I'm not gonna lie to you, Alex. It's gonna be looking tough. But so pretty much it's a playoff game. So that's what that means to me.
So you want to play with magic, you should know what you bargained for. Cardinals are coming at you like a dark horse, but then again, we spoke about this, Jackie, long before the season started. What does this game mean to you?
This game for me means the MVP of the league. There has been so much talk about Russell Wilson and how he gets no respect. And I don't agree with that because I think he should have gotten a lot more respect in the past, just to put that out there, because I think he is amazing and underrated. So I'm just going to put that out there. But little Kyler's coming in. He is coming in, and now all the MVP talk is going for Kyler. So these are 2 very similar quarterbacks. And I think that whoever wins tonight is going to be the real MVP.
All right, Jackie, I'll start with you and then I'll finish up with Brandon. I want a game prediction and your hot boy for tonight.
Okay, well, obviously, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I can't exactly predict the numbers. I'm going to say definitely somewhere in the 20s, 30s for both teams. And my hot boy is still D-Hop. He's still amazing. That's on the offense. And, of course, on the defense, Patrick Peterson. I want to see how he can cover DK. That's going to be a great matchup. Those are going to be my 2 guys.
If we could send a gift basket to Bill O'Brien, we should. Brandon, game prediction and your hot boy for tonight.
Obviously, I mean, I pray to God we win. I mean, at this point, I don't even know. I mean, but yeah, I hope we win. It seems like every single year we struggle with Arizona, and especially at home, we lose to Arizona every single time. It feels like whenever we play at home. I mean, even last year we played freaking Brett Hundley. We didn't even play Kyler. Kyler got hurt, and we still lost that game. So at this point, you could throw on anybody. But yeah, I'm gonna pick us to win. I don't think it's gonna be as high scoring as last time, but I think it's gonna be a good. It just feels like one of those nights. It's just gonna be one of those dirty games. It's just gonna be like back and forth. It's gonna be tough, physical. There's gonna be penalties. I could just see it. And you know what? I'm going to say the person I need to show up is the guy, the jersey I'm wearing right now. I need DK Metcalf to show up because last week that man didn't do jack, mostly because Russell Wilson didn't look his way. So they understand he was open plenty of times. But, I mean, I think after hearing all the criticism last week where Russell was like, people were saying, Russell, you got to look DK's way. I think DK is going to get a lot of targets. I expect this man to go off tonight because I think he's pissed after last week. And, yeah.
Brandon, take 20 seconds, let the people know where they can find you and what you do.
Yeah, guys. So like I said in the beginning, I'm a blogger. You can find me at Hotcast on Instagram, or you can look at my YouTube videos. I got not that many subscribers. I think I got like 330. I just make Seahawks videos, and you can watch me be depressed if we lose. So yeah, and it's just Brandon Michael, my name, and that's about all.
All right, Jackie, one love. I know you from the Truth Serum, but let the people know how they can find you and reach you and see some of your funny memes on Facebook.
Okay, well, I'm not exactly a blogger. I don't have a podcast. I'm just a school teacher who's also a fan. So if you guys want to be my Facebook friend, my name is Jackie Macherella Howell. You're more than welcome to be my Facebook friend. I do put up funny, memes, but I'm just a fan who loves to watch football. And I like to go to the sports bar, drink my beer, eat my wings, play a lot of fantasy football. I get a lot of great advice from the Truth Serum fantasy football podcast. Shout out to Joey and Jordan. I love you guys. And just a fan.
Hey, she tried to tell Sam not to sing, but Sam sung anyway.
Oh, my dad jokes.
Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you off? Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. What? Knock 'em out. Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off? Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. What? Knock 'em out.
You know what I find funny? It's week 11 and people are talking about MVP talk between Kyler and Russell, but nobody's talking about the 2019 MVP, El Freaky. Can we bring in John? We got to have a conversation.
Yeah, hey, how's it going?
How you doing, sir? Journey with the J's own John Shearer. How you living?
Just started my factory job, 56 hours a week, so I'm tired, but I'm here.
All right. Why no love for El Freaky? What the hell's going on this year?
The run game's down a little bit. It's hard to replicate what he did last year. I mean, Kyler's doing a great job this year, but I mean, everybody expects him to do better than what he did last year, and that's a little bit unfair to ask of anybody. I mean, that was a magical season, but the Ravens are still 6-3, and that's not a bad record at all. And they lost, 3 games. The Patriots game is a little bit of an aberration, but they lost to the Steelers and the Chiefs. Their other 2 losses. Those 2 teams combined have 1 loss. So come on, one freak loss and then a loss to the Steelers and Chiefs who have 1 loss combined. Let's not freak out too much. And there's been a lot of injuries.
Yes, losing Stanley has not helped, and the return of Ingram has probably steadied the course, but now you got a colluded backfield between Ingram, Dobbins, and Edwards. But I want to bring up the elephant in the room. Tennessee.
Look, I know Tennessee's coming to town, but and I said this on my podcast on the radio show last night. I actually said that Tennessee's going to get their, we'll say butts, because I don't know if I can swear on here. They're going to get their butts kicked. Baltimore's going to be mad after that loss to New England, which I had predicted New England would actually win. Baltimore's going to be really mad, and I know Tennessee laid it on them last year. But when Baltimore gets angry and Baltimore comes home, it's not pretty for whoever has to face them. And Tennessee is coming, and Tennessee is actually playing bad too. Let's not forget that. Tennessee has looked really bad lately. They looked middle of the road. They lost to the Colts, who I don't think are a very good team. So I think Baltimore's really going to lay it on them and make a statement after everything that's been said about the Ravens and everything that's been said about Lamar. They're going to lay it on the Titans this week.
All right, one last question. Well, actually, two. Well, three. Let me not lie. Question number one, who do you have your eye on this week? Question number two, what's the game plan against the Steelers when you see them in 2 weeks? Question number three, are people sleeping on Lamar?
Yeah, people are still sleeping on Lamar. I mean, he had an MVP season last year. Hasn't been quite as great this year. And as far as X factor for this game, I think the Ravens are really going to have to commit to stopping Derrick Henry. If you put the game in Tannehill's hands, as we've seen the past couple weeks with them, they tend to struggle. And if you shut down AJ Brown, their passing attacks tends to struggle. There's nobody else really that's going to get it done. So stop Derrick Henry. I know it's easier said than done, but if you commit to stopping Derrick Henry, you can beat that Titans team because there's not a lot offensively. Now, as far as the Pittsburgh game, remember, Ben Roethlisberger was under 100 yards at halftime, and Baltimore was winning. So I know Pittsburgh won, but Baltimore was dominating that game. Roethlisberger looked like a shell of his former self. Lamar was the one that really turned the game around for the Steelers by throwing some picks. So the Ravens will have to clean that up, and I know they'll go to Pittsburgh. But in the NFL, you don't typically sweep a division team, and I think the Ravens are going to give it back to Pittsburgh, especially teams that are that good. You don't typically sweep each other. That's why I think Seahawks win tonight. You don't typically sweep your division rival. Typically, it's a split when two teams are really good like that. So I think the Ravens will go and they'll beat Pittsburgh in a couple weeks. And like I said, you don't sweep too often in the NFL.
John Shearer, Journey with the Jays. Let the people know what you're about, what you do, and where they can find you.
Yeah, you guys can find me Real 1100 AM. We have a radio show in Atlanta Thursday nights from 6 to 7. You can listen to our show. And then Sundays from 12 to 12:30 on that same app. You can listen to our NFL pregame show that we cover the entire NFL, cover the betting line. So if you're looking to make some money, check out our show and we'll help you make some money right before the games.
Did you say money?
Money? Everybody likes money. Everybody like green. Everybody likes that money.
Amen. Good luck to your Ravens this Sunday, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Speaking of luck, I have one team that was dead in the water, but is now 4-5. Well, 3-5. Let me not count my chickens before they hatch. And then I have another team who's 2-7, but still has a chance to win the division. Can I have the Minnesota Viking and Dallas Cowboy representative, please? Stacy, Colin, how are we doing?
Doing well.
Doing well.
Stacy, I believe this is in your house. This is in Jerry World.
I think we're at Minnesota.
Oh, you're at Minnesota? Ooh, Dallas on the road after the bye? Really?
I think so.
Well, then, ladies first. Ladies first.
Well, everyone knows the Cowboys have had a tough year, a really, really tough year. But Minnesota, well, they're epically pretty much awful. I think that Captain Kirk is going to be riding high on his win finally on Monday night. He finally did something on Monday night, and then he's going to say, "Beam me down," in on here. So, there's some feedback. Is there something wrong? Is it just me? Okay, maybe not. Anyway, so I think that the Cowboys, this is going to be a trap game for the Vikings. I think that they showed their record early, and they're going to not fight at all. I think that they're expecting the Cowboys to roll over and die. I will say, despite our record, the Cowboys have not yet rolled over and died on any game. And this is going to be the game after a bye week that we really turn it around and we really do something different.
All right. I have questions, but I'm not a part of this debate. Colin, I think you could read my mind. Go.
Well, like I said last week about the Vikings, I knew they were due for a win against Chicago at Chicago. The last two times that the Vikings have beaten Chicago and Green Bay on the road, they've gone to the NFC Championship game. I don't think they're going to go that far, but they've turned the season around. You're talking about Kirk Cousins. I think the guy you got to worry about is number 33, Dalvin Cook, coming out of the backfield. I think that's the guy you're going to have to be a little bit more concerned with. Cousins' deficiencies have been mitigated because of Dalvin Cook's rushing. He is, and talked about MVP candidates. I know quarterbacks usually win, but he's right up there in my mind as an MVP candidate. They went from 1-5 to 4-5, won 2 games on the road. And you talk about how bad the Vikings were. Well, they lost by 1 point at Seattle. They lost by 1 point to Tennessee. I mean, they played a hard part of their schedule, and they should have beaten Seattle. So right now they could very easily be 5-4, if not 6-3. So I would be a little careful to back talk the Vikings. So I don't think they can afford to have a back off game right now. They're going to keep it going this week again.
All right. Neither of you mentioned the fact that the Dallas Cowboys are 29th against the run and that the Minnesota Vikings have problems stopping the pass. So both your teams have weaknesses, but I mean, Zeke's been a shell of himself and Dalvin Cook has just been cooking, unless you're playing the Chicago Bears. So, Stacy, do what you do.
Well, I don't bring up the pass for the Cowboys because I don't really even know who our quarterback's going to be this week. And I have a feeling it's going to be that little ginger leprechaun. And so I don't know how that's going to go. But what I do know is that the defense played excellent against the Steelers last week. And with fourth string quarterback, we almost won against the Steelers. They're the big dogs in the league right now. So I would think if I was the Vikings, I'd have a little bit of something to worry about, because if we can take down almost Big Ben and what they have brought to the table, these little 2-7 Dallas Cowboys might have something in their pocket, especially against Kirk Cousins. Now, Dalvin Cook is good. He's really good. But we have a pretty good, unfortunately, after Dak was gone, a fairly decent offense against the pass run. Or, I'm sorry, defense against the pass run.
Colin, no cap. Red-headed leprechaun. I love it. 45 seconds, sir.
Good luck this week, Cowboys. You're going to need it. You're in the Eastern Division, the NFC least. You could win that division with 5 wins. Good luck. You're going to need it. The Vikings are hot right now. It's going to be a rough one. You better be ready. This isn't in Jerry World. This is up north, so be ready. It's coming.
Stacey Ashton, please let all the people know, and all the gentlemen gawking over you, where they can find you.
I don't know about anybody gawking. I'm Stacy. You typically on a football world, a discussion group on Facebook. We have all the other social media platforms, but that's a lot of fun. If you want to talk football and have a great time, come join that group because we have a lot of fun there.
Colin, hey, old time friends, bro. Let the people know how they can find you and what you do.
Well, you can find me on Facebook at any NFC North Trash Talk, Domination, NFC Elite, NFC Domination, pretty much any Trash Talk Facebook website. You can find me there. I'll talk a good game with you, but I'm pretty fair.
Thank you for your time, and good luck to both teams on Sunday. Now, from one game to another, it's a Sunday night special. Now, I remember a while back ago, I tried to tell people that it's time to gamble on Vegas. And what did they do? They stunned the Kansas City Chiefs for the only L of the season. Well, you know what? Payback's up. Enter in Kerry Johnson. How you doing? You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry. Hi, Alex. Thanks for
How
helping
you
me out
doing,
there.
kid? Oh, of course. How are we going to have a show and not have the defending champions on? Now, you know what Sunday night is. Sunday
It's
night
time.
is payback. You're only L
Absolutely.
this year, and it's the Vegas Raiders. Please enter in NFL insider Phil Jones. Is Phil in the house? Is Phil in the house? Phil's not in the house yet. Until he gets in, tell me how the bye week was and what's the plan against the Raiders.
Well, obviously, the bye week is always good for your team to get that rest in and give them a chance to regroup and realign. I feel like it's got given our guys a chance to touch base with those that they love, get that chance to kick back. But as a fan standpoint, the bye week sucks. I mean, you have football to watch, but you don't have your team to watch. So I'm ready for some action. I'm ready for us to walk into the Death Star and go ahead and destroy it.
Running game. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Le'Veon Bell. I don't like two-headed backfields because when you're splitting up carries like that, yes, it helps both, but it hurts both because fantasy value goes out the window. Which running back are you picking this week?
I do like our Fresh Prince, Clyde El-Hilaire, but I am looking forward to seeing if Bell can bring in some of those carries and show out like he did one time in Pittsburgh. So I'm kind of interested to see if that's going to happen. That'll be something I've been kind of looking for his breakout game to show, yeah, he's back. This is where he needs to be type thing.
My spidey senses are tingling, and I'm thinking Travis Kelce, 5 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown. Am I crazy?
No. You're gonna see, Mahomes and Kelce have a great working relationship. It's a great friendship. You see them playing all the time, but you also know that they have a good working relationship. So, I like to see when Kelce and Mahomes. Well, Kelsey's my fave, so I like to see it when they meet up and can connect.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. Sunday night matchup. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to shorten this one up, though. 1 minute shots. 1 minute shots. This is in the Death Star. So, Carrie, get what's off your chest.
All right. So I'm curious to see, do they have, I heard like COVID has taken over your defense. So y'all got them like stick up people. Is that what you're going to put out there for us? Because that'll be really helpful. I think they got some in Denver you can borrow. Their stands seem to always be full of those little stick up people. So, but anyway, I'm feeling like revenge is best served a little bit cold. We've had a moment to chill on your win. Y'all have been chilling. Well, y'all gone cold, so we're getting ready to come in and show you, hey, we gave you one. We're in here to destroy the Death Star.
She made that short and sweet. She said they've been chilling. They've been reflecting. Phil.
What's that old coach? Mr. Andy Reid, yeah. Yeah. I can't see my play sheet. I can't realize how the Raiders whooped my big fat behind last time. Let me tell you something, man. Your Chiefs are about to catch this L again. My defense, my guys, they'll be back. They just need a little bit of rest, a little extra rest. We all good. We gonna take care of business like last time. Y'all couldn't stop the rush. Couldn't stop the pressure. You didn't know where it was coming from. It was like magic to your left, magic to your right. Oh, wait, no. It's Matt Crosby coming to sack Mahomes. I'm going to tell you guys this. We're going to take care of business at the Death Star and get rid of you guys and just have Josh Jacobs run you over. Oh, yeah. Don't forget about Mr. Ruggs up top. That's it.
Ooh. He said JJ is going to be dynamite and Rugg is going to take the top off your D. Very disrespectful to the champs. Very disrespectful. Carrie, 45 seconds. Finish it up.
Listen, I don't care what you got to say, all your jokes and stuff. All I got to tell you is, like, Obi-Wan had Luke, Andy has Mahomes, and we're coming in. And if you'll remember how the Death Star fell apart was with Luke Skywalker shooting right there in the heart and destroying it. Just kind of get familiar with that because Mahomes is coming in and he's going to throw that dart and it's going to blow up that Death Star and y'all be sad. Just how it is, buddy.
Phil, I'm keeping a straight face, but just know I am laughing on the inside. Bro, wrap it up, bro. Wrap it up.
Well, I'm Andy Reid and I'm about to order me some French toast and a chicken fried steak with some gravy and a whole bunch of barbecue sauce. I love my barbecue. But I have no answer for the Raiders this week. I'm just going to look at this pay sheet and fathom on how I'm going to be losing this game.
Y'all have nothing. You couldn't beat us at home. You're not going to beat us away. And this whole Death Star thing, yeah, that's the Death Star. But with Andy Reid wearing this whole face mask, breathing hard, can't look at his play sheet, how are you going to say that that's not Vader? Return of the Jedi. Gruden is Luke, and he's going to get rid of Mr. Darth Vader himself. That guy, Andy Reid, with the face mask, who cannot be breathing so hard, man. Gonna spider wire 2 banana and beat him.
Kerry Johnson, Phil Jones, thank you for your time.
Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. What? Knock them out. Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. What? Knock them out.
I want to finish up the show with one more piece. I'll be traveling back to Jacksonville this Sunday to watch the 1-8 Jacksonville Jaguars versus an undefeated team this year in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not a lot of people thought that Pittsburgh would be in the position that they're in, but with the wide receiver trio and the running game and a resuscitated Ben Roethlisberger, they're 9-0, looking to be 10-0 for the first time in franchise history. Can we please bring in the 13-year-old phenom, Daniel Pequerico? Welcome, sir.
Alex, nice to see you again.
Good to see you, sir. Hey, I want smoke from you this week. Your team is 9-0. You got nothing to prove. But I got a Jaguar here who wants to play spoiler because she doesn't think you guys can stop the run. Enter in the lovely and beautiful Ada Cruz.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I see you sporting that pretty kitty over there. Let him know. Let him know. All right. Now, Ada, I must warn you. You cannot treat this kid like a kid. He might be 13, but he's got knowledge of a young man. So,
I'm pretty sure.
Pittsburgh is coming to our house. I will be in the house this Sunday.
I should be there that's on Sunday too.
You're going to be there this Sunday?
Yes.
Hey, all right. All right. Well, we'll get to that later. Daniel, you know how this goes. You're the visiting team. You go first. Ada, you'll have 2 minutes to reply. Let the games begin.
This game's gonna be close. It's a trap game, and in trap games, we don't perform so well. Like 2 weeks ago against the Cowboys, it was super close. It came down to the last snap, where Minka broke up the pass for a second week in a row. And this game is gonna be somewhat the same. In the past few years, there's been these two teams that had our number. It's the Patriots and the Jaguars. They know how to stop Ben Roethlisberger. They know how to control our entire team, honestly. But the problem with Jacksonville is there's no more Jalen Ramsey. There's no more. No, Talvin Smith's gone. There's no more guys like these, guys like that. And Jake Luton is starting again this week. You know, a rookie quarterback, and we're historically good against rookie quarterback. Just ask Joe Burrow what happened last week. He didn't see anything at all. He only had one touchdown. He barely passed for 50% completion percentage. And the passing defense has been pretty solid this season. And Jake Luton has had a turnover, if I'm not mistaken, has had a turnover every single game he's had this season. And our defense, as we all know, one of the best in the league, maybe even the best. We get pressure into the quarterback. We can stop the run through our front seven. And I think James Robinson, he's a phenomenal rookie. He was undrafted, and then he came into Jacksonville and he took everyone by storm. Fantasy wise, he's one of the best running backs in fantasy. And Ben Roethlisberger has been very well this past weeks, and there's no C.J. Henderson. He's been placed on IR. I just saw that recently, and Ben Roethlisberger just threw for 4 touchdowns. We might see it again this week.
All right, all right, all right. Ada, I don't know if you're new to this debate game, but you got a whole 2 minutes to let him know how you feel about the Pittsburgh Steelers and what the Jags are going to do to the Steelers. The floor is yours.
I think that basically you're right. Jalen's not with us anymore. We don't have Calvin Smith. We don't have a lot of key players that we had in the Steelers before. It's gonna be a battle. On paper, you look at it, you're like, it's gonna be a Green Bay last week kind of woke up this team up. I think after what happened this week, we get a little more life into it. Jacksonville needs to remember about the running game. They have to stop the running game. They have to. They have to get the best on this. If you hit him a few good times, he'll come down. But I have this game 28-17. I have the Steelers win. Only because we've lost 8 games in a row. You're facing a rookie that's only started 3 times. Last week, he did actually pretty good. He actually had 304, I believe, yards. He did pretty good. He had a touchdown, rushing touchdown, and an interception. James Robinson was a gift. It was a miracle we even picked him up. Worked out so well. He is amazing. Pittsburgh, I think one thing that they would probably want to look out is for James run the ball. James will run the ball. DJ Shark, they have to worry about DJ Shark getting over. Martin loves DJ Shark. He loves eating. So they would have to. That's one thing I see DJ opening up more, getting the ball more. But basically, to be honest with you, as a fan, just about every single factor, I've seen the battle that they have on the field all the time. But I give this game to Steelers as much as I hate to do it. But as a realist, I have to say 28-7.
I find it funny that this game is going to be all about the rookies. Of course, we're going to know about Ben Roethlisberger, and Juju might have a little sprinkle. But James Robinson was ranked 6th out of the all-rookie team. Henderson on the defense is going to be a key matchup against Chase Claypool, who has 9 touchdowns as a rookie. But then again, I might have said something about that. Daniel, 45 seconds. Finish it up.
So last week, they faced against Green Bay. The problem with Green Bay is their run defense isn't really the best in the league. It's one of the bottom tier run defenses. And I believe that we can stop James Robinson. Our run game is garbage. We cannot run a ball. Our play calling has been garbage in running the ball. We've been going outside of the tackles, jet sweeps every single time. I'm getting annoyed. I don't know why Randy Fichtner keeps running those plays. We just need to go through the tackles. That's how this run game has been built for us. But the only way we can win against Jacksonville is stop James Robinson. That's it. Stop him. Stop the entire team.
I actually agree because James Robinson has been the fire starter for this offense. But I don't think it's going to be as easy as that, though. Ada, any chance of an upset special?
There could be. There could be. I personally and a lot of other people that I know didn't have that game as close. We only lost by 4, which was a big deal to me. I had them losing by at least 2 touchdowns. So you never know. Robertson is going to be a problem. He's going to be an issue. He's been an issue for a lot of teams for a very long time. If we can get him to run the ball, so that you can move the chains faster and get score. You just keep scoring on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I always believe if when a team starts going ahead with the Steelers, it works out. Like it worked out this year. This year they're amazing. They're amazing. I never would have thought that the Steelers would have gone undefeated for so long. And I don't see them losing, but they're a great team. But I do think that their mentality is right now, this is going to be an easy game. We're just going to play, and that's it. Don't come in here thinking that it's going to be that easy because these boys woke up. Now that they're woken up, that's it.
That's true. That's true. I look forward to running into you at the game. You gotta let me know where you're at because I'll be at the press box looking for you. Daniel, Phenom, let the people know how they can find you on FB, bro.
Well, you can find me on NFL's Greatest Debate Room on Facebook and AFC North Facebook groups as well. I'm in there, and my Facebook page. I'm Steeler fan.
Ada, other than Sunday, let the people know what you do and where they can find you.
I have my own page, so you can find me on Ada Cruz on Facebook. And you can also find me on Rivalry Nation. You can find me on Coach Society, some great football, baseball, basketball. We do it all there. You can find me on Sports Crew, CRUVE. I do a lot of stuff on Facebook and Instagram. It's APITA Cruz. On Twitter, it's Ada.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Alex.
Carousel, yeah. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, this the carousel. On or you off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. What? Knock 'em out. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, this the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. What? Knock 'em out.
One last thing before I let you go so you can watch Arizona versus Seattle. I remember the drubbing that the Saints gave the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 38-3. But you know what? It's hate week. But I don't need to speak on it. I got Sports Illustrated's own Danny Thompson to speak on it.
Mr. Alex, how's it doing, my friend?
Bro, I'm doing all right, bouncing back from an L. We have our time, but it's not about us. It's about you and your matchup with the Saints this week. Floor is yours.
I mean, you know, the good thing about this week is that, you know, unfortunately, we're not playing on Thanksgiving Day. The last 2 years, Saints and Falcons have been arguably the most entertaining game on Thanksgiving Day because of the fact of the Cowboys and whoever they play is boring, and no one really watches the Lions unless it's bad food at your Thanksgiving table. So no one really watches either one of those two games. The Falcons and Saints play on Sunday. Now, the dynamics of this game has changed. Atlanta's won the last 2 games because they figured out how to play defense, and they just figured out not to give the ball away in the games. Now you're going against New Orleans Saints on Sunday, and when you have the Saints, it's always one of those games. It is like to Alex's point, it's a hate week game. And the Falcons and Saints, they always somehow find a way to play their best games against one another. If the Falcons are struggling, they find a way to salvage their season somehow against the Saints and vice versa. The game this week has changed because Alex, your boy, is now in charge of the Saints this week, which makes everything beautiful for Falcons fans. Jameis Winston will make his first start of the season, taking over for the injured Drew Brees, who's going to be out for an extended period of time. We don't know how long he's out for. As a Falcons fan, it's kind of you don't want to see somebody get hurt, and even no matter how much I'm not a fan of the Saints, you don't want to wish injury on anybody. And Drew Brees, Alex, we've been on Drew multiple times. I was out in the Pro Bowl last year. Drew's one of the best guys you can meet in the league, no matter if he's a Saint or not. He is one of the he never turns down an interview. He never turns down a question. He arguably is one of the most popular players in the league for a reason. So you don't want to see nothing happen to a good guy like that. But as a Falcons fan, seeing Jameis Winston on that side of the ball after all the years we've tormented him, it's a beautiful thing to see. Now, remember, Jameis Winston is not Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater is 5-0 against when he was a Saints starter last year. This is a completely different story because guess what? Jameis Winston is not Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater's job is to manage games. Jameis Winston is a gunslinger. As Buccaneers fans know, Jameis Winston can throw for 5,000 yards, but he can also throw 30 interceptions. He could throw you into a game and then throw you right back out of it. So the way the Saints win this game on Sunday is real simple. It's Alvin Kamara left, Alvin Kamara right, and then Latavius Murray up the middle and letting Jameis throw the ball when he has to. Not letting him throw the ball 30 times, letting him play in control, and also maybe throw some Taysom Hill out there to change the situation up because Atlanta struggles outside of the front four. If Grady Jarrett's not getting pressure and Deion Jones, who now has to think about more mobile quarterback because Drew Brees is much more of a non-mobile factor, he might not be able to play side to side. He's going to have to play up on the offense line a little bit. The Falcons secondary struggles against wide receivers, but when had they not struggled against wide receivers? The game's going to come down to Matt Ryan holding the ball at the end of the game. As long as the Falcons are not in the lead and Todd Gurley's not near a goal line, at the end of the game, we're up by points and having to not get in the end zone, Atlanta should be fine. The Falcons need this game, actually. The funny thing is, for as bad as Atlanta's played in the 3 games the Falcons have lost in the final 5 minutes, Atlanta still has a shot at the playoffs. It does start today. It starts Sunday against the New Orleans Saints. It really is. If the Falcons can win 2 of the next 3 weeks at home and away against the Saints, and I think they have, I want to say, buffer again. I want to say it's the Raiders, I think, in between. Atlanta can go back. It's 6-6. Atlanta will be at 6-6 going into December. And the only game that's really the one that you probably won't win is Kansas City.
Yeah, that's an L. That's an L.
That's an L for anybody. So if you take away that game, Atlanta has a shot to potentially get 9-7. Now, the NFL has said that if COVID takes its precedence and it starts canceling games, it involves an extra playoff team getting in. If Atlanta somehow can start winning games and Detroit can continue to lose, that blown fourth quarter lead against Detroit won't hold Atlanta out of the playoffs. I'm not saying Atlanta's going to make the playoffs, but they got a shot at it. For as far as hate week goes, the Falcons should be able to win this week because this is Jameis's first start. The game in 2 more weeks, that's the game. If the Saints win, that's the one they will win because Jameis will be a little bit more comfortable in Sean Payton's offense. I think the Falcons will take this one. They should be able to win next week, but that game in 2 weeks will decide the Falcons season no matter what, unless somehow they blow the game on Sunday.
Sir, I know you're a professional and I know you're a Falcons fan. So if you were ever going to say something, I don't want to use the word derogatory or something raw, now would be the time.
Real simple. It's a horror show called The Defense. One thing the Saints have always done against the Falcons, that when the Saints are on, they torture the Falcons in the secondary. What the Saints can do on Sunday to torture the Falcons is, guess what? Use a 2-back set, but use it a little differently. Put Alvin Kamara in the slot. Make sure Cook, the tight end, isn't all in the line. If you spread those two out in the interior and let Michael Thomas, who's now starting to get healthy, and Emmanuel Sanders on the wing, or if you know what, you want to do something else, bring UCF's wide receiver Traquan Smith in the game. If you start spraying out the Falcons who don't have secondary members anyway, and as long as Jameis can accurately hit the ball without making mistakes and not getting succumb to pressure, Jameis can pick apart the Falcons easily. Now remember, he had issues picking apart the Falcons secondary when he had 2 all-pro wide receivers. That's why I said Sean Payton needs to get the ball in the hands of Alvin Kamara, where it's on the ground or screen passes, dump passes. Use him in every which way possible. Kamara might be the best player in the league on the offensive side of the ball that's not a quarterback. If you look at my MVP rankings right now, he's the only non-quarterback in the MVP rankings because Kamara's got more receiving yards than he does rushing yards. And that's going to play a key because as long as you pull Deion Jones away from doing whatever he does, Atlanta up the middle is going to be real easy to run because guess what? Outside of Grady Jarrett, outside of Keanu O'Neal, the secondary, and outside of Deion Jones, they cover the middle of the field and they can tackle. The rest of the 9 guys, hey guys, on that roster.
Fair enough. Beyond the buzzer and Sports Illustrated's own Danny Thompson, don't let me tell it. I'll let him tell it. Let him know what you do and what you're about.
Check out Beyond the Buzzer Monday nights on Facebook Live, Zingo Television channel 198, which is Blackjack Television. Also, check out my work at the 3pointconversion.com. Just transitioned over everything, taking over the NBA writing over there. So you can check out my NBA work and my college basketball work over there at 3pointconversion.com, as well as, I don't know, I might jump back on later on tonight because I know everybody's been asking about the thoughts about the NBA draft. I had a chance to speak with Mitch Kupchak. I had a chance to talk to LaMelo Ball last night and a bunch of the draftees last night. So I have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. And Alex, free agency is 12 hours, is 16 hours away. Right. And guess what? I'm not tampering by talking to you, unlike the Milwaukee Bucks and the Sacramento Kings. There's no tampering on the show tonight.
Hey, Cole Anthony, LaMelo Ball. I think for once we both won this transaction.
You know what though, and I've been seeing this all day. You know, Alex, I actually got something. I know this is a football show, but you know what though? Let's talk basketball for a second.
Okay.
The Magic fans who are upset about Cole Anthony. Oh.
Y'all ain't gonna have a basketball show and not let me get up in this. Come on now, fellas. What's up now? Yeah, I did it, Alex. Yeah, I did it. Go ahead. I did it.
Breaking news.
Cole Anthony last night. So what's up?
Breaking news. My main man, Eric Wilson, jumped in the building. No, we were talking about how Magic fans should really just calm down about Cole Anthony. I think Cole Anthony is a Cole. First of all, no offense here. He's a Cole player. Cole said last night, I think Eric, tell me if I'm wrong or not. He said he definitely was not the 15th best player in this draft.
Oh yeah. He said there were 14 players. He said there are 14 players who are not better than me. This man is young, he is hungry, and through everything he had to go through, the adversity, the trials, to be in this position, this is the best thing that the Magic could have done. One of the tweets that I saw last night, I think summed it up perfectly. For a team that is health and injury plagued, they got the healthiest guy in the draft.
They got a dog.
Yeah, they did.
Cole, the one thing the Magic fans have been complaining about is a guy that's a dog. Cole Anthony, first off, he's from New York. All right. When you have the confidence, the swagger, and not to mention you've been playing pickup games the last 2 years with Chris Johnson in New York. Ask about Chris Johnson in New York about his open run, his legendary open runs during the summer with Hoodie Mello and everybody else out in New York. He held his own. The same way Obi Toppin was out there dunking on people 2 years ago when people didn't know who he was, when he was basically a guy that no one had scholarship for. What Cole Anthony brings to the Magic, for those who don't know and never watched him play, take away the film from North Carolina, unless you watch the first 10 games because he was hurt. The second part of the year, he was hurt when he got back. He was trying to play because he wanted to single-handedly put the Tar Heels back in the tournament because the team had torpedoed because of, not Cole Anthony, because of the roster building that Roy Williams put together. What I'm saying, Orlando's going to get a guy that, and Eric, Alex, you guys are in Orlando now, full-time. I got a feeling if Steve Clifford lets this man go, Markelle Fultz might not have a starting job much longer.
That wouldn't bother me a bit.
Wow. See, Danny, this is what we miss, man. This is what we miss is you, brother. We got to come to Charlotte because this is that kind of education that I miss.
Listen, you guys are more than welcome to come up here. Like I said, I know a spot we can go grab some meat before the game. It's something different than Orlando. It's actually one of my favorite spots up here. It's a food truck place that's actually indoors. It's restaurant style, but it's all from companies that were food trucks. It's about 15 minutes away from the arena. You guys are more than welcome to come down. We'll go catch some food before the game and head over to Time Warner. But yeah, this year, the Magic, I'm excited, actually. Being in Charlotte, I mean, LaMelo Ball is one thing, but for the Magic side of things, it's actually exciting to see some rookie that's going to come in there. First off, that's not 7 foot tall and that has a 65-inch wingspan. It's to see somebody that can come in there and the fans are going to love him. I don't know if I can remember any player the Magic has that at his size, his skill set, and that has a dog in him. I don't remember in all the years of the Magic them having a player like this. Eric, Alex, you can help me with this one.
Hey guys, I'd love to keep it up, but 1, it's a football show. 2, the game is on. 3, I have other obligations. For Sports Illustrated's own Danny Thompson, representing and writing for the Charlotte Hornets. For Eric Wilson, the Magic Perspective, the Sports Arena, and all the many hats he wears. And for Alex Fleming, some dude that just writes for a nationally old black newspaper. It's the Carousel. Either you're on or you're off.
Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out. Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're